What did Meek Mill say, guys? What did Meek Mill say? I used to pray for times like this. I saw my goalkeeper coming out, claiming crosses, making saves, and not punching a man in the head in the process. Manchester United 2, Sunderland no. Manchester United's our first clean sheet, guys. Forget even in the league, in all competitions. Our first clean sheet. 2 different goal scorers on the score sheet as well as one of them being our striker, our big guy up top. Some good performances, in my opinion, across the team. A huge debut for Sunderland. I think Ahmad had a good performance at right wing back. We're going to talk in Boomer. We're going to talk Cesco. We're going to talk Mason Mount. So make sure you hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well if you're new here. Now let's start with, I think, the biggest factor of the game for me. Benjamin Cesco's all-rounded play throughout the game for me was top. It was top. His ability to hold the ball up, run the channels, his physical presence, and how he can use his body very well to battle with centre-backs really helps and benefits Manchester United. And if Manchester United keep finding him, then I think that he will begin to flourish. It's as simple as that. Now, if you look at the stats, I mean, ground duels, he won 42%, and he won 4 out of 13 aerial duels, which is not that great on paper. But Manchester United have tried something for the second time, I think, with a better goalkeeper in terms of distribution. And that is the long balls up front, trying to get your target man to get involved in the game. And even though he didn't win 50% of it, it's only going to get better, hopefully. And he finds himself getting a goal as well, which was a well-taken goal. I was very, very happy for him. But that's the areas and the spaces that you want your guy to be in, especially a guy that tall, especially Benjamin Cesco, who, for someone quite tall and quite big with his stature, he can move very well. That's the areas in the box that I think you want to see him get into. He's also trying to get at goal by taking shots. Only took 1 shot on goal, but created some chances as well for other people. And like I said, that's just something that you want to see your striker doing. Now, let's go to the other side of the pitch. And that's our goalkeeper, the man between the sticks. His first appearance for Manchester United. Imagine making your Premier League debut after a couple of games where I think that Man United could have done with a goalkeeper. But today, calm. That's all you ask for. A calm goalkeeper between the sticks for Manchester United. Because unfortunately, we haven't had the luxury of having that. And today, guys, I'm not even joking. First cross comes in. There was I think it was a set piece that they had from a free kick. And he came out between 2 Sunderland players and jumped and grabbed the ball. I applauded him. It's the bare minimum. It's the bare minimum, but that's how you know we've actually been in the gutter when it comes to stuff like that. Didn't have a full kind of a positive long ball accuracy, but again, it's his debut. For me, I'm looking at how you claim your crosses. He's had one of the highest percentages in the top 10 European leagues for his shot stopping and also for his claimed crosses. And that's what I wanted to see today. And that's exactly what I did. Uses his feet very well as well when he makes saves. But I think this was a good game for him. There was, coming into the game, I'm not going to lie, guys, there is kind of pressure on Manchester United and Ruben Amorim. And that first half is exactly what I want to see from Manchester United. But I have a concern, and those concerns won't go away until I see the football consistently. And my concern is doing it over the course of 90 minutes. That second half was a bit lethargic, if I'm being honest. It didn't really create much. We're on the back foot. Sunderland wasn't that great, if we're being honest. Let's be real. Sunderland were not that great. But that first half is exactly the kind of football that I want to see from Manchester United, and it's unfortunate that we actually didn't get to see it consistently in the second half. I think Man United could have been 3-4 up in the first half if we take our chances, but in my opinion, if we're creating those chances in the first half, Man United need to create it in the second half, and vice versa. If we started off the first half poor and we started off the second half well, I would say the same thing. I want to see 90 minutes of consistent football from Manchester United. And yes, it's 3 points, it's a clean sheet. That's 2 big things for Manchester United. Number 3 is a great debut for Le Mans. Number 4, Benjamin Cesco getting on the score sheet. But if I was to say anything, it would be about the consistency across 90 minutes. I haven't really seen this season a consistent 90-minute domination from Manchester United. And we're still quite early in the season. But the reason why I'm actually pointing that out is because I mentioned it, I tweeted it during the game, just saying, it would be nice to see United dominate for 70 to 90 minutes of the game, because we're playing 1 game a week. It's in my opinion, it's a Manchester United situation where not just within the fan base, but also it seems within the club, there's a bit of morale difference. I think a good 90-minute performance would make a heap of difference. And then all you have to do is kind of build on that into the next game. Whereas today, Manchester United, having a good first half, you're looking at it thinking second half could have been better. And then that's what you have to build on. You have to build off of that first half going into the next game. And the next game ain't until 2 weeks' time against Liverpool after the international break. So that's, again, you know how it is sometimes when teams return back from international break, the momentum's kind of gone. And that's what I want from Manchester United. I want some momentum in these results. That's the most important thing, is getting the momentum game after game. And what would help best for me, in my opinion, it would be doing that. So in terms of today, I think, again, I have to shout out Ahmad. I have to shout out Ahmad, because Ahmad, for me, has been quite underwhelming. And I know he missed the last game because of a death in his family, so I hope he's okay. But today I saw Ahmad that just plays free-flowing football, little body feints, knows when to use his body, knows when to use his strength, knows when to use that little explosive kind of outset pace that he has. And in terms of, statistically how he done, dribbling, getting involved in defensive attributes, winning his ground duels, getting involved in ground duels, dribbling past players, creating chances, touches, having touches in the opponent's box, passes into the final third, could have assisted Mbeumo for a goal in the first half. That is what you want to see from your right wing back. And I actually think, and I've mentioned this before, kind of Mbeumo and Ahmad playing together, I think they played a lot better today together. They seemed like they were on the same page. And obviously that relationship between them will grow the more that they play together. But it definitely felt like it was understood when Ahmad should be out wide and when Mbeumo should be in the central areas, and vice versa. It definitely felt like there was a bit more unison. And, in terms of the starting 11, when the lineups came out, my first thought was, okay, I thought it was a good starting 11, a decent starting 11. In terms of what Mount offers, I think he had something to offer. Cunha coming off the bench as well, and having a bench that Man United can call upon, I think, is equally important. Just Rezexi, unused sub, but Kobe, Cunha, Patrick Dorgu, Ugarte and Harry Maguire coming on as subs. Again, Man United had, I think, what was a relatively strong bench and a strong starting 11. And I liked what I saw from Mason Mount. He offers something different. Now, the only thing I will say is, with Dalot at left wing back and Mason Mount kind of in the left 10 position, Man United were relying a lot more on their right-handed side to kind of run possession through there and run attacks through there and basically attack Sunderland. And really and truly, when Labrie made the change and took Adingra off and went into a back five, brought on Ballard, I think from there onwards, it kind the game kind of just went away. But Man United were already quite comfortable in the scoreline, and they were quite comfortable in the game. But one thing I will say is that in that first 20 to 30 minutes, Manchester United had that kind of extra man in attack, which we utilised very well. I genuinely think we utilised it very well. I just want to see this consistently, and that's why I'm not going to get too carried away. I'm not going to get carried away with this result. It's a positive. 2 goals, 2 different goal scorers. Your striker, most importantly, getting on the score sheet, and Boomer with the assist as well. And then a debut from your goalkeeper, who you've been easing in, and has a debut like that. I don't think you could ask for much more from your goalkeeper, especially given the fact that he's given Manchester United their first clean sheet of the game. Now, the back line, again, I think this has become the preferred back line with De Ligt and Shaw, and with Yoro in and out. But Man United making another change in the centre-back position in the game. I just don't get it. That's now what, 43 games out of 50 Ruben Amorim has changed his centre-back trio mid-game. I don't know. I just find that odd. But also, Casemiro getting booked and then coming off, I think it was good man management from Ruben Amorim. So I'll definitely give him that. Now we go into the international break, where I think talks about the manager will quieten down. I think this was the game where everybody had their eye on it, because if a result went the other way, that international break could be unbearable as a fan, in terms of news and just every journalist making up news, or trying to create news, or trying to create a buzz around Ruben Amorim and conversations around Manchester United. But I'm glad that we can actually get 3 points on the board, a clean sheet, a wonderful debut for Lemens, as well as Cesco getting on the score sheet as well. That's back-to-back Premier League goals as well for him. But the job's not done. I need to see this on a consistent level, and I'm not getting carried away until I see pure 90-minute dominance from Manchester United in the Premier League. Let me know your thoughts, guys, what you thought of that game. It feels good to enjoy the rest of your weekend knowing Man United got 3 points. Make sure you hit the like button, guys. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here.